Welcome, everybody, to Understanding the Human Condition. I'm your host, Dr. James Flowers, and I'm so excited today to have Shay Butts, our Chief Operating Officer, here. Thank you for coming.
Hello, I'm glad to be here.
And I'm super excited to have Chef Eric James with us. Hey, Eric.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
We are super, super excited to be welcoming you to
Thank
our
you.
team here at J. Flowers Health Institute.
Right.
And you guys, I'm going to let you know what, Shay has a great relationship with Shay has a great relationship with Chef James already. So Eric James, so go ahead, Shay, take it away.
Well, so Eric and I met a few years ago
Yep.
through mutual friends, and he just has a phenomenal way about him. He's quite the personality, as you've seen.
Yes.
But he also...
Okay, that's the end. Thanks so much. I'm going to go on that note.
Hey, you're not taking over our podcast. This is not TikTok.
Exactly.
Settle down over there, Chef James. I'm just kidding, kind of. Anyway, so the thing that I thought was really a nice fit is that with J. Flowers hiring an executive chef and having someone like Chef Eric, he was trained at Le Cordon Bleu, so very reputable, obviously.
Mhm.
His food is very well presented and beautiful and delicious and all those things. And so it just really appeals to our brand and the things we want to do for our clients. But he also is a content creator for something called Culinary Misfits.
Nice.
And we could be like healthcare misfits maybe or
We could
something.
be.
I don't
We
know.
kind of are.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
wildly successful social media platform over
Wildly.
wildly
Let's
successful.
emphasize that.
What is
TikTok.
Culinary Misfits?
So initially when I first began the personal chef run, it was more about trying to create an experience that wasn't so typical. I wanted to lose the uptight persona of what a private or personal chef brought to the table. So for me, it was about starting it off with the name, which people say, oh, wow, that sounds so much fun. What is it? And I was like, oh, I do private dinners and events in people's homes. And they go, oh, so you're like a fancy chef. And I go, nope, I'm Culinary Misfits. I said, we care more about the experience. The food has to be good.
Sure.
But my mindset was I want it to be Culinary Misfits because I want people to approach it with like, oh, wow, what is this? It's Chef Eric James. That's who I am when I cook.
Sure.
And the name James is pretty powerful.
Sure
and
is.
when you say, oh, I'm Chef Eric James, and they're like, oh, well, aren't you fancy? And I'm like, no, take about 20 minutes, get to know me, and you'll see, oh, yeah, Culinary
you go.
Misfits makes
Yeah.
sense. So it's delicious, amazing food, but at the end of the day, it was about the chef being second, because in chef's world, we're first. We're what's the most important thing. Culinary Misfits was making the client first, and the experience was what I wanted people to go, oh my gosh. Because like they say, they're going to remember your name, they're going to remember what they even ate, they're going to remember who was there, but what they will remember is how you make them feel.
Absolutely.
And so that's where I brought in my past of marketing and sales and saying that's what I want people to do. So it was a bit different. Plus, I don't have any tattoos. I don't have any criminal felonies.
Yeah.
And so I'm already going against the grain as far as chefs go. So Culinary Misfits.
There you go. And, food is such a part of our human condition. How did you get into the whole food world?
Well, food was a necessity from birth.
Really?
Yeah. So no, I got into so my mom worked in the industry. She's a single mom raising me. She was never home. And, as I got older, I understood why. Is because she was always working because the restaurant is very demanding of
So
your
she
time.
was a chef?
Yeah, she was a cook. She was a bartender. She was a waitress. She was everything she had to be to make ends meet for us, which I didn't appreciate until I was older because, what do kids know? So it was when mom was home, she was always so tired. So it was mac and cheese and it was hamburger helper. It was all these things. I got tired of that. Even as a kid, I was like, Mom, can we do something else more than mac and cheese? I'm pretty sure that's the cause of most root issues of me today is the mac and cheese powder.
And she said, yes, go cook.
She said, yes, go cook. And then so I was really boiling. Pasta and noodles was the first thing I was learning to do. And I loved hamburgers. So I learned how to make hamburger. I asked a friend of mine's mom. And she was Hispanic, so she taught me how to make picadillo. And so I was making like this really spicy hamburger my mom wasn't used to, but I fell in love with. And so I was kind of introduced like that early on, and then life happened and it wasn't as relevant. I got older and I couldn't play guitar and I didn't have bags of money, so I had to figure out a way to impress the ladies.
Yeah.
And so cooking seemed to work. So I stuck with food, and they're like, oh, a chef. And I'm like, well, I would say a chef, but so I just went with it. Now I'm a chef cooking, and it's a thing that pretty much saved my life. There's a ton of stories on how it saved my life, but that it's more than just cooking for me. It is connection with people and in life in general, which I'll
Yeah.
come back to when we talk about why I'm here.
Absolutely. Shay, you want to talk about why he's here?
Why am I here, Shay?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I would like for you to talk about why the wellness in healthcare industry interested you
Yeah.
in general. I mean, we've had lots of conversations about personal life journeys and things like that that have come up that have sort of shaped your left turns and your right turns.
Right.
So, do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. I can get a little personal. Is
Sure.
that fine? So basically for me, being self-employed as an entrepreneur has been fantastic. I've been doing it for 12 years. I love it. But it's exhausting, always trying to
Yeah.
figure out where my next client's going to come from, because it's just like sales. I work weekends and holidays. I'm always working. I'm always trying to figure out what's next. Where am I going to get my next client? And again, the reason why I don't even do a lot of food competitions is because I don't believe it's about the chef. I really don't believe it's about the food. The food makes the journey better, but I believe it's about us as human beings. It's the journey that we take that food can help guide us on that journey. And I'm not going to get too philosophical or too deep because it really shouldn't. But for me, I believe that food can cure the soul. It brings people, very rarely people are mad at each other like, I'm so sick and tired of you. Let's go get a steak dinner together.
Yeah.
Nobody ever said that. They sit down at a table to rectify things, to fix things, to mediate things, to, talk about things that matter to them, whether it be politics, religion, or whether it just be family issues or family celebrations. Things at the dinner table are always, at least in my opinion, something that we should look forward to sitting down to. And so doing what I do as an entrepreneur and creating these dining experiences when I work on my own is something that I'm passionate about the most and I love the most. But when Shay approached me and she's like, hey, and the first thing in my head is, oh, corporate America? Hell no. I'm not going back to that. There's no way. 9 to 5, no.
Yeah.
And I sat, and she's like, well, here's what we are kind of thinking and what we'd like to do. And I heard everything that she offered, and I thought, well, that was very generous. It's very nice. Thank you. But then what she said was, and not necessarily what she said, but then when I found out, as anybody should research who you're going to work for, I go to the website, and I'm like, oh, these people are helping people. And for me, it was about more of being a part of getting people not necessarily fixed, but back on the right road. This is where the personal part comes in. I'm a child of Al-Anon. My mom was an alcoholic, and she passed away with about 9 different prescribed drugs in her system. So there's lots of things that, as a child of Al-Anon and somebody who grew up in that type of environment, understands better than the average person outside. So for me, all I thought about is when she made me the offer before I responded back is without getting too deep in my own psyche, is like, I can't fix what happened to my mom, but I can be a part of helping people on their journey back to that road to
Back to
recovery.
wellness. Yeah.
And so if I can do that, maybe I can do something good for myself while still doing what I do on the side. 4 days a week, I can still go out and do dinner parties if I so choose. But for me, it was like becoming a part of a team that was taking care of people, helping them find the right road to the recovery they need to take. And if I can do that by getting them excited about lunch, about having them say, oh my gosh, Chef Eric's here again today. Today's Taco Tuesday. Let's go. Then if I can bring a little bit of joy like that, then to me is more than what.
Wait a minute. You're a chef,
Yes.
and we're going to have Taco Tuesday?
Oh, yeah, we're going to have some Taco Tuesday.
Or are these going to be chef quality
Oh, yeah, they're going to be
tacos?
chef quality tacos.
I'm worried now, Shay.
No. Tortillas warmed on site. We're going to have
There
some
you go.
beautifully marinated flank steaks, some beautiful chicken,
Yes.
some shrimp. It's going to be good.
Absolutely. What's your favorite type of food?
People ask, my favorite,
Personal.
perfect. Okay, that's the
Yeah.
perfect question. Thank you so much for asking what type of food. Because people say,
Yeah.
what's your favorite thing to cook? I'm like, that's the
Different.
dumbest question.
Yeah.
It is, because like,
Glad I didn't
it's
ask a dumb
food.
question.
I would have been like, oh, great question,
Yeah.
Dr. Flowers. No, for me, my favorite style of food is Spanish. Because
Okay.
I believe that the Spanish flavors, they're so deep. They're beautiful flavors. And people are like, oh, you don't like Italian? I'm like, I love Italian.
Yeah.
But Spain goes so deep and rich with their
Sure
flavors,
does.
and one of the largest, purveyors of spice next to India.
Yeah. Very
Yeah.
cool.
So, yeah.
And
so
you were
like
just in Barcelona,
I was in Barcelona.
but we're not going to go down that rabbit hole. We'll talk about
Barcelona. I was in
something else.
Barcelona. I was all over Europe. I was in Rome. Rome for my 3rd time. So
Nice.
beautiful.
That's
I
so cool.
ate like it was my last meal
I
every day.
bet. Yeah.
So I know recently, Eric, and you've given me permission to bring this up, but you had a little bit of a health scare, I guess I'll call it, or change.
An awakening.
Okay, an awakening. And I'm curious how that has changed your relationship with food and how that will also play in with our clients.
That's a great question, Shay. And yeah, it wasn't catastrophic, first and foremost. It wasn't catastrophic, but I was just recently diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic.
Ah.
And looking back in my life, I was on the right path to becoming a type 2 diabetic because I would eat a full sleeve, if not the whole package of Oreos. I know that's not what sent it that way, but my lifestyle didn't make sense. And I'd wash it down with a Mountain Dew. But I even did it as I got older. You know, we can do that as kids. We're resilient. But as we get older, we have to be smarter. And it was just, I have a mindset of just being and feeling young. But yeah, no, it hit me pretty hard. My A1C was like at 8.3. And then it was just, I was 30 pounds overweight. So it was a brutal awakening. And my doctor's like, yeah, this is bad, Eric. Like, that little buzz and that little high you get, you say you feel this surge of energy. He's like, yeah, that's your blood sugar spiking. And that's not good.
Yeah.
And so I kind of stepped back on some things. I started reading labels more like I should. And the good news is that my A1C is down to like 5.4 now, 5.4. My sugars usually don't go over 120 in a day. So I've learned to manage it for myself. And then it changed the way I ate, and I'm also exercising more. I've lost, since I found out about 3.5 months ago, I'm down about 24 pounds.
Excellent.
So yeah, this shirt, when I bought it, was initially tighter.
Sure.
And then I'm
24
losing.
pounds is that's a good weight loss.
It is, yeah.
Well, I was a little bit more extreme too. I was working out really hard in the beginning because as soon as, in the beginning, you're always like, you work harder than you're ever going to work because you're like, wait, now I've got to get caught up.
Yeah.
And then a friend of mine was like, no, pace yourself. You're going to burn yourself
injure
out.
yourself. And
You're old, Eric. You're at the age now where things are going to start falling apart.
Exactly.
I'm saying what my friends told me, not what I'm saying.
So what about when one of our clients comes up to you and they're eating your food for lunch and it's delicious, as I know it's going to be, and he says, how do I do this at home? Like, how do I learn how to do this at home and eat healthier? What's your advice?
Follow me on TikTok.
There you go. Exactly.
No.
For a grand total of $19.99 a month, you can join my TikTok.
It's free. It's like free. No, honestly, the thing is, here's what you guys are going to get here's what the people eating my food get that they wouldn't normally get. You know, when it was made, how it was made, who it was made by, and what's going in it.
Yeah.
So if somebody says, Eric, this is amazing. How do I do this? Oh, great. 5, 6 simple ingredients. Here's how you do it. Here's the techniques you use. And I said, if you want, I'll write it. I'll go home and I'll write the recipe out for you.
So, you mentioned that your mom was an alcoholic. Is she still living?
No.
No, your mom
She
was
passed
an
in
alcoholic.
2008.
I'm sorry to hear that. So you mentioned your mom was an alcoholic. You're an Al-Anon. You cooked because your mom kind of cooked, and then she said, okay, you want that, kind of cook it. How do you feel that food leads to comfort, right? Because we work with a lot of addicts and we work with a lot of mental health patients who have difficulty in life. And for me, food is very comfort. My mother was an alcoholic. My father was an alcoholic. My sister was a drug addict. Go on and on for the next hour.
Or not.
About my family. And for me, food is gathering friends that are healthy and that I love to be around and eating amazing, wonderful food, and it kind of takes me away. Is that how you're kind of looking at this as well?
1,000%.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that food sparks emotion. So yeah, I do think that food holds a special place. It is something that invokes emotion. And when clients come in, I want clients to feel like, the food is approachable. Because that's the nice thing here is we're fixing stuff. So if I can fix a small part of the soul, and if I hear somebody say something like, oh, do they ever serve, meatloaf? I love when my grandma used to make meatloaf. It may not be on our menu, but I'm going to email somebody and say, hey, in 2 days from now, I know it says we're supposed to have Taco Tuesday, but we're going to do meatloaf.
You don't need to email us.
One
just do
person.
Meatloaf Monday.
Meatloaf.
There you go.
Not every Monday. I just want people happy.
Yeah.
Well, for us, the concierge approach to everything that we do, it's been evident in all parts of our business, but not really in lunch.
Right.
And I am excited because I believe that that's going to be able to bring that, concierge component even to lunch.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I think about people that come with different kinds of food. Either they don't like something or, their preferences are for this or that, or they legitimately can't have something.
Right.
And being able to give you that information and have you make something for someone in a way that it does match their dietary requirements is really great. I also am a fan of gathering. And so many times, a lot of the people that we meet here and that we work with and serve are people that have isolated themselves and have stepped away from relationship. And so if that 30 minutes in the client lounge having lunch with coaches and other clients and staff people that are here, can be magical for a moment, and
That's
they
right.
enjoy the food and enjoy the company.
Right.
And it gives them just enough to continue on to the next day. That's all I think we need.
I agree. I think this is going to be super successful. I'm really grateful we're making this change. We've had amazing lunches up until now,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
now we're just bringing in a person, right? A human
yeah.
being to come in and nurture these clients that we have even further with amazing, incredible, healthy food.
And you
And
get this
so,
stand up for free.
exactly, you get free comedy. He may play his TikTok in the background.
You never
Yeah.
know. Be ready. Get
That's
ready for
right.
that
I
TikTok
know.
dance. You never
So
know.
welcome aboard.
Thank you
We
so much.
appreciate you
Yeah.
being here. We're super happy that you're here. And all right, here you go. Here's your opportunity. How do people reach you if they have questions about food,
So if you have questions about food, or if you don't
or they
mind,
just want to watch?
or
Yeah.
if you want to watch, I mean, and I also still do dinner parties and stuff like that in people's homes on the
Mhm.
weekend. So if you wanted to book a dinner and you wanted to do anything like that, chefericjames.com. I make it really easy.
Yeah.
chefericjames.com for dinner parties. And then if you wanted to follow me on social media, it's pretty much Culinary Misfits all the way across the board. So
There you go.
Facebook is the only thing that's a bit different. It's Culinary Misfit, no S.
Mm.
I just have to put that out there. People are like, I can't find you. There's this place in Germany. I was like, try
Yeah.
no S.
Yeah.
But Culinary Misfits across the board. It's actually, I try to create on Instagram. It's very much more professional,
Mhm.
very much my business. If you have small children, don't let them watch TikTok. I'm an adult and I do adult. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, if you have small children, we encourage people to watch it all. We keep it all very child friendly.
Yeah.
And we try to have more fun with food. It's more about the day in my life of what I do. So it's
Mhm.
not just about cooking. It's just about what's going on right now. Like there was a video clip I did of this already, which will be a part of my day in the
Perfect.
life. I'm so grateful to be able to be here.
Yeah,
that
we're
this was
super.
spoken to action after a couple
Super
of years.
excited to have you. Yeah, thank you so
we're glad
much.
to have you.
And if you want to reach J Flowers Health Institute, it's jflowershealth.com or 713-783-6655. And Shay, thank you for joining me today. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was fun. It
Yeah,
was great.
we need
We're
to do
looking
more of
forward
this.
to it.
Yeah. You guys have a great day. See you soon.
Take care.
Bye bye.